Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name's Osirus, and in today's video we're going over 3 hunts to easily get yourself a Shiny Staryu, Steelix and Scolipede in Pokemon Legends Z-A. So the first shiny that we're going to be hunting today is going to be Staryu. Now, if you're in the early parts of your playthrough, you haven't progressed that much and you want a Shiny Staryu to add to your team, you can come to Wild Zone 2 and you can just use the fast travel method here, where you're just standing outside the Wild Zone and then just opening your map, fast traveling to this zone over and over, and do this for an extended period of time, and you hopefully will get yourself a Shiny Staryu. It is hit or miss because you're not getting guaranteed Staryu spawns at the entrance here. Remember, you've only got that 50-meter radius where you're going to be covering the front of this Wild Zone. You will cover, of course, the Alpha Staryu that you've got to the right. You just need to make sure it is night when you're doing this. And then there should normally be a Staryu down in this area of the water just down here that you're hitting. Outside of that, there isn't really too many others, but it is possible doing this method. I do feel like there is a better method and an easier method as well, but you're going to have to progress through the story a little bit. You need to be at least rank D and have complete main mission 20 to unlock the area that we need to use for this shiny hunt. But we're going to be heading down to this area here, and it's going to be in the Blur Sector 9. And it's Cafe Soleil that we're going to be coming to. So it's just down from Wild Zone 10. So if you haven't got this cafe fly point unlocked, just come to Wild Zone 10. We're going to be making our way to this area here, because in this courtyard, which is in amongst all of these buildings, you're going to find Staryu spawning. And it doesn't matter what time of day or night it is. They're not day and night depending on when they spawn. So we'll head over to this cafe. Now, from this location, we're going to be taking this Holovator down here. Now, to unlock the Holovator, you're going to need to unlock side mission 92, which becomes available after you reach rank B. So it is a little further into your playthrough. Hopefully you're there by now, but if you're not, then that's a target if you're wanting to hunt Staryu, as we're about to do. Now, when you come to this area, come up the Holovator, you come over to this rooftop here, where there is this bridge. And we're going to take this bridge over here, and you'll be familiar if you know about the Dratini hunt that you can do up on the rooftop here, the runaway method, because this is where the Dratini is. But down in the courtyard down here, we're going to see Staryu appear in this area, and there's always going to be a bunch of them in and around this. Oh wow, we've already got a shiny. That's nuts. Okay. I didn't expect us to get a shiny. I haven't even done the method yet, but in this area here, you're going to get a bunch of Staryu appearing. And also, if it's raining as well, there will be a Goomy or a Sliggoo appearing in the middle area here. So you can hunt that if you've got the weather for it. So once you're at Cafe Soleil, and we're going to be taking that right again, but we're going to be coming straight up this alleyway and coming to this building here. And as I say, if you've come through the story enough to do that main mission 20, and you've done the Rust Syndicate little side quest, you'll know about this building here, because this is the building that we're basically going to be using. It is in that 50-meter radius of those Staryu, and all we're going to be doing is holding down on our left analog stick and pressing A, and we're going to be coming into the building and out of the building. So it's very reminiscent of the method that we use going up and down the tower in Wild Zone 3 for the Shiny Alpha Litleo and the fletching that's on the roof area there, and everything in that area around a 50-meter radius. But this is a method that I haven't seen too many people cover, but is an easy one to do. You've just got to be that little bit further along in your playthrough, and it is going to be one of those methods where you can use like a rubber band to hold the left analog stick down, and then if you've got that turbo controller, you can then just set that A button away and just leave this running for a period of time, and then come back to it, and hopefully when you check that area again, you'll have that Shiny Staryu. But even if you haven't got a turbo controller, this is something that you're going to be able to just set up, and you're going to be able to just mash that A. It's very quick resets. As you can see here, all we're doing is entering the building and coming back out again, and then when you've done this for a set amount of time, you can then come back up onto the roof where we were, and hopefully you'll be able to see and get yourself that Shiny Staryu. The only problem is you need to be a little bit further along in your playthrough, so you'd have to just rely on Wild Zone 2 if you are wanting a Staryu in that early part of your playthrough to play with that Mega Starmie when you get access to the Mega Stone. But otherwise, I think this is probably one of the easiest hunts that you can do to get yourself that Shiny Staryu in game. Like you can see here, we've got the ones at the front you'll be able to hit, and these ones up the side. and then the ones up this side as well, you'll be able to hit. So there's 5 in total. There isn't really any at the back that we need to actually be concerned about, so that's super fine. But you can get yourself that Shiny Staryu very easily in game, and this is one of my favorites. Like I say, you can then grab yourself that Staryu, got it in the dive ball, and of course to evolve it you can just come to the Stone Emporium if you haven't got yourself a water stone, and in here you'll be able to pick one up for 3,000 Poké Dollars, and then you'll be able to use that water stone and evolve that Shiny Staryu into that Shiny Starmie, and then you're gonna have access to the Shiny Mega Starmie if that's one of the Pokemon that you would like to use in your game. It's a very cool Mega. I know it gets a lot of stick for how it looks, but I like it. So it's a really cool Pokemon, and then that's as easy as a hunt I think that we're going to get in this game. So like I say, if you want one for your playthrough, this is a really easy method for you to come and get one, and using that doorway method in the Blur Sector 9 is going to be probably one of the best ways to hunt this. Now, the next hunt that we're going to be going after is a shiny Onix for a Shiny Steelix, because it is another mega Pokemon in these games. Now, the first thing I would recommend doing before doing this process is going to be just resetting to a brand new day cycle. We want as much time as possible for this method, because when you come to Wild Zone 14, it isn't the most consistent spawn that you can get in this area, but we can help and increase our chances. So getting a shiny is a little bit easier. So like I say, all you want to do is set yourself up a brand new day, and when you've done that, we can head to Wild Zone 14. So in this area, we're going to find a lot of different Pokemon, but that one specifically is going to be the Onix, and Onix can be found in the dirt mounds in this area. So there'll be one dirt mound to the left here, and then there'll be another one over to this side, and then in the far corner over here you'll have one. And Onix can sporadically appear in any of these dirt mounds, but predominantly gonna see more Drillbur probably than the Onix. So you can fast travel to this area, but you're not guaranteeing yourself that there's going to be an Onix in any of those holes. So this might take a long time, and you probably end up with way too many shiny Drillbur than you're probably wanting to get. So the fast travel method obviously is just doing this over and over again. But there is a way for us to kind of always guarantee that there's always going to be an Onix in at least this area here and this area over here, and it's by increasing the holes that we can see right now from 1 to 2 here and 1 to 2 in this area. So we're guaranteeing at least 2 Onix in these 2 areas. Unfortunately, we can't increase the holes that we see in this area, so we're just going to concentrate on this side of the wild zone. Now, what we need to do first is remove all of the overworld spawns in this area, because they are going to get in the way when we're doing this setup to increase the holes. The alleyway that we're going to use as well, there's going to be a boulder here, so make sure firstly you get rid of this boulder, because we're going to be running down this alleyway to that corner with the drill bars from these holes, and we need a clear path to be able to do that. But like I said, first off, we want to just remove all of the Pokemon in this area, in the overworlds, the Larions and the Arons, so they don't get in our way. There's an Onix there, that's great. We don't want to knock out the Onix though, we just want to knock out the Arons and anything on the overworld. So that looks like we're in a good spot now. With there's a Mulga. The Mulga's probably fine, but we will get rid of it just because we don't want anything really getting in our way. So once you've removed all of those overworld spawns in this area, we want to just fast travel back here and re-enter, because what we're going to be doing is hoping that we get in these dirt mounds a Drillbur, because they're going to be easier to pull than the Onix. So we'll do this area first. The basic thing that we're going to be doing is pulling the Drillbur down into this corner. We want to get its attention, aggro it, and we're going to want it to use dig. So when it does use dig, as fast as we can, we're going to run down into this corner. We really need it to just dig as soon as possible, because we want to lure it down into the corner here. So just keep trying to dodge its attacks while you're doing this. And there, as soon as it uses dig, run all the way down to this corner. And as soon as it comes up, you want to just open your menu and drop a hard save, and then we're going to close the game completely, because what we're doing is pulling that drill bit away from its original spawn point down into this area here. And by using dig, it gives us a way to kind of run. It's going to pop up wherever we are. So you've dropped that hard save and come back into the game. The drill bit should now be in this corner here, which it is. So that's its new spawn point for now, temporary anyway. First thing, once we're back in the game, we're going to want to drop a pin right on top of it, because we need to be able to kind of judge a distance here. There's that pin's good. So once you've dropped the pin, you want to exit the zone, and we are going to be heading to the right, and we're going to just check this drill bit as we go past. It should still be in the corner there where it is. And now we're going to be heading down this avenue. We're going to be going about 65 meters down this path, and it's between 60 and 70 the distance that you want to go. And this is something that you might need to play around with depending on how your pin has been dropped, where the location of it is. But once you get that 65 meters, like I said, it's between 60 and 70. You might need to play with it. Once you've got that good middle ground there, I always go to 65. It always feels like a good safe place for me. Drop that hard save, close the game, and then reboot back in. Once you're back in the game, you want to head back to Wild Zone 14. And when we come in, we're going to check to see the drill bit is in the same place that we left it. If you go over 70 meters, you've got the chance to despawn it. So just double check when you come in here. You can just move that pin, and you can see the drill bit is down there. Now, when we come back to this area here, there should be another hole, and there is a hole there. So that's brilliant. This has worked. If this hole isn't here when you come to the wild zone, just reset, maybe move 66 meters, drop a hard save, come back, check, and see if the hole is there. If that hasn't, go 67, 68, 69, and then come back. Eventually the hole will be here, and your drill bit will be down in that area. Now, the next important step is to now, when that hole is here, you're in this position in the wild zone, drop another hard save. We're going to just close the game again completely, and then we're going to reboot back in. If you don't do this step, for some reason, if you just fast travel after coming back in, the second hole will not appear. You need to drop this save, and then we can fast travel when we come back in. So the drill bit, we know, is still down in that corner, and we've got a second hole. Well, we've got a hole appearing here, an additional hole that we're appearing. So now, once we come back into the game, we want to just fast travel back to Wild Zone 14. And then when we come into this area again, now we should have two holes in this area. So there we go. Brilliant. And one of them will be a guaranteed Onix. So one will be a drill bit, one will be an Onix. There we go. There's the Onix, and then an Alpha drill bit. Wow. Okay. So that guarantees us at least one of these Pokemon. Now, fast traveling to this area again will not despawn the second hole. The only time that second hole will go away for good is if you knock out the Pokemon that's in it, or if you catch it. So this will be safe to fast travel back and forth to now. And the second thing that we're going to do to increase the chances even more is increase this hole from 1 to 2 again. So just check it, and if it's a drill bit, we want to just take it like we did that first one, lure it down to that corner, and we're going to be wanting it to use dig one more time and do exactly the same method like we did before. We don't want it there. So get it in this position and just wait. Once it uses dig, which is great, get as far down to this corner as you can. As soon as it comes up, drop a save. Now, this can be tricky because sometimes Drillbit will just refuse to use dig, and you'll be doing this for a little while. Just be patient with it. You will eventually get it. Once you've dropped that hard save, you're coming back into the game. The Drillbit should be in this corner where we've ran to. And again, like you can see, we've lured that second Drillbit down. So we're going to, again, drop a pin in this corner, and we're going to repeat that same method that we did before. Pin seems good. And then we can leave the wild zone one more time. Come to the right, run down the avenue, go that 65 or 60 to 70 meters. Once you're at this distance, drop that hard save. Close the game. And then we're going to reboot. And then if we've done this step right, like before, the drill bit should still be down in that corner area. And if we go to the very right-hand corner, there should be an additional hole where we've pulled this drill bit from. So you can check the drill bit's still there. We haven't despawned it. Everything going right that way. And then if we come up here, we've got another hole. So that's brilliant. Okay, excellent. So now we know that method's done. Again, if you come to this area, the hole isn't there. You just need to extend your distance. So what we're going to have to do is come out of this area, re-enter without aggroing anything, and then drop a save in the center. So if we just do it, I mean, you can clear the errands out of this area here. They don't spot you. We'll just drop a save in this area, and then just reboot. And then now we're back in game. We just fast travel back to this area, and like magic, we should have 4 holes up in this area. So we should have the 2 in this area here, which we do, and then there should be 2 up in this area, and one of these should be a guaranteed Onix as well. Every time you come in, guaranteed Onix here, and a guaranteed Onix in this area as well. The Drillbuzz already escaped from there, so you're guaranteeing yourself every time you fast travel to this area now 2 Onix. So that is a really good way to guarantee yourself getting a shiny using the fast travel method. And you can see if we come up to the top area, the furthest area away, and we come to this furthest hole, we'll drop a pin right where we are, and I'll show you that this 50-meter radius is hit every time we use this fast travel method. These are definitely hit here, and you're going to be hitting these Pokemon over here as well when you're fast traveling that 50-meter distance. So if we come outside the gate, just for your peace of mind, if we look at the pin that we've dropped, which should be over there, 39 meters, which is fine. So all you're going to do once you've done this setup now is just fast travel over and over to Wild Zone 14, and then just come in and check the shinies, and you should be able to get yourself a shiny Onix pretty easy with this method, so you can have that shiny Steelix. The hardest part about this whole thing is probably finding a trade partner to then evolve the Onix with the metal coat item after you've eventually got it. If you do need a metal coat, you need to find one out and about. If you're in the post game, you can come down to the Racine construction building here, and in this building you come in and you speak to this NPC here. They will sell a metal coat item, and it's not going to cost you too much. I don't know, like 5,000 Poké Dollars, and then you can use that to evolve your shiny Onix. So just doing this method, once you've set up those additional holes, is going to be a great way for you to come and pretty much guarantee yourself a shiny Onix. And even if you haven't got the shiny charm, it's going to be pretty quick in hopefully getting that Pokemon and adding it to the collection. And if you do it long enough, if you're wanting 2 Onix, one for your Living Dex and then one for the Steelix, then you can just do this a little bit longer, and you will eventually, with those 4 holes that you've got, you probably end up with some shiny Drillbur as well, but you're going to also come across the shiny Onix, and you're going to be able to get yourself this really cool shiny. So the next hunt that we're going to be covering in today's video is going to be a really effective and efficient method for going after the shiny Alpha Whirlipede in Wild Zone 5. Now, you might already know a method for going over this, but I guarantee that the method that we're going to cover in today's video is going to be way more efficient, and the spillover possibilities of extra shinies is definitely going to make this method more worthwhile than doing like a runaway method that we're more commonly familiar with for the Whirlipede. So once you're at Wild Zone 5, to set up this hunt to begin with, I just need you to come to where the Whirlipede is located. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of spillover with this hunt as well. You're going to have all the Baneri, you're going to have the Bellsprout, the Venipede as well. So if you are looking for a shiny Scolipede, there is always the easy option where the Whirlipede might take a little while because it's an alpha to shine, but you might get the Venipede just on top of that. So what we're going to do is come to this area here around the back of this wild zone and through this tunnel. Just be aware there are some sludge piles as you come through here, so you're going to need a water or a psychic type move to remove those. But as you come to the end of this tunnel system, you'll see the Alpha Whirlipede here, and that's going to be our target. And I've already dropped a pin on it, so all you need to do is just come as close to it as possible and then drop that pin right on top of it. So we've got a good marker with where it is spawning in this area. That's slightly, it's always hard to get a pin right on top of where we are. I thought that's not too bad. Okay, so once you've dropped the pin, you want to just head back the way we came in, and as soon as that aggro sign drops off, we're going to be just fast traveling back to the Wild Zone 5 entrance. Now, the other spillover alphas that we're going to be covering here, and this is what I think makes this method so much more effective now, is just an extension of just fast traveling to Wild Zone 5. But if you're far enough in your playthrough and you've got Wild Zone 16, then you're going to have access to shiny hunting for the Alpha Ampharos here. And if you look in the background, you're going to have a Froakie up on the monument in the middle, And that is going to be another target that we can hit here, as well as all the Pokemon in this area down here, with the Medichamps. You're going to have the Flaffies as well. So there's going to be plenty of Pokemon in and around this area that we're going to be hitting with this method. And all we're going to be doing is coming into the wild zone. Keep an eye on the pin that we've dropped, because it's going to be to the right of you, and just make your way up the boulevard here. And all you're going to be doing is just get into a distance below 50 meters. Now we're within range of that Whirlipede. It will have spawned in the area where we've just went through the tunnel to see it. And now all we're going to be doing is just fast traveling back to the Wild Zone 5 gate. And we're going to repeat this method over and over until we do eventually land on that shiny. Now, this is a really quick way to do it, especially if you're on a Switch 2 version of this game, because the transition screens are going to be a lot quicker. I'm on Switch 1 right now, so it gives you a good feel of the transitions, how long each reset's going to take, but it isn't long, right? But also, just by going this extra distance that you may have not been doing before, you're hitting the Alpha Whirlipede. You're also hitting the Bellsprout, the Alpha Bellsprout, which is just up the road here. So we are hitting that. And you're also hitting the Ampharos every time that we fast travel in. And that's basically all you're doing. If you've got a macro programmable controller, this is going to be an easy loop that you're going to be able to program into that and then just leave it running for a set amount of time. Now, I have the macro already set up, so on my 8-bit Do Pro 3 controller, I will share that on the screen now. If you've got a similar controller and you want to just use the macro that I've got, then you're more than welcome to do that, and then just leave it running. Like I say, come back and hopefully you've landed on the targets that you want and a lot of spillover shinies. But even if you haven't got that macro programmable controller, this isn't going to be something that's super taxing. It's not really an AFK method, but I mean, it's fine, right? You're hitting so many alphas at one time. Pretty mindless as well. Once you kind of do it a few times, you get a good gauge of the distance that you need to go. I'd always say around the middle part of this flat part of the stairs is more than 50 meters, over the 50 meters, and you can see that's a good distance. We've got the Alpha Bellsprout in the distance up here as well that has spawned in. So again, you're hitting that, and all you need to do is just repeat this process over and over, and you will hit those shinies eventually. And like I say, you're gonna, Scolipede is your target for the shiny, then you don't necessarily need to go after the Whirlipede. I just feel like the Whirlipede's there, right? So it's a nice target to go after, especially with this method where you know you're going to be spawning it in. But you've got the Venipede in the area just to the left of us here up on the grassy area that you're going to be hitting as well. So you've got a good chance to get those as well, and then get this new Mega Pokemon shiny, either Alpha or just none, or maybe you get both as well. So that this is basically the method. So I set this up, I left it running for maybe an hour at tops, an hour tops. I didn't leave it running for very long, came back, checked it, and I was lucky enough when I checked in the tunnel, there it was, the shiny Alpha Whirlipede. Nothing else, strangely enough, in this area actually was shiny, so that was the only one that I hit. Nothing behind us. The Alpha Ampharos didn't shine, the Froggy didn't shine, but they're all possibilities to shine, and I didn't really care at that point. Just getting the shiny Alpha Whirlipede was enough. So it proves that this method does work. All you need to do is just make sure you drop that pin when you come into the wild zone. Just pay attention to the distance, get under 50 meters, then fast travel back to the entrance, and then just repeat this over, and hopefully you'll have a lot of success getting this shiny Alpha like I have in this video, and then you can have yourself that shiny Mega Scolipede as you play through the game when you get access to that Mega Stone. And because Wild Zone 5's one of those wild zones you get access to pretty early in the game, it's going to be one of those Pokemon that you can add, and it's going to be a really powerful member to your team if you're playing through with it, and then you've got it into the post game as well. So we'll wrap it up there, friends. I hope you found the tips and tricks in today's shiny hunting video helpful, and you have a lot of luck if you're going after any of these shiny Pokemon. Of course, if you do go after any of these shinies that we covered in today's video and get them with the methods that we've covered, do let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be rooting for you to get them very early on, especially that Alpha Whirlipede. That's been something I've been wanting to go after for a while now, and it's really nice to have it. So I hope the same luck comes to you when you go for your shinies in game. Thank you so much for tuning in, friends. If you've enjoyed the video, do drop a like, do subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our Pokemon Legends Z-A content and more shiny hunting content that we have on the way. And I'll see you all in another video very soon. So until then, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.